Hey guys, how you doing? It's Johnny. I'm sorry that I was about 10 minutes late for this live stream. I've just been really busy with admin stuff and business stuff. I'm really excited to be teaching you today, and also apologies about I know the lighting isn't great. I'm in a really nice hotel. I'm in a different hotel today, and the lighting is dimmer. So let me try and put a bit of light here, a bit of light here. Okay, maybe that one. At least you can see me and you can hear me, and I'm excited today because I'm going to be teaching you a lot of things that are going to help you to overcome your anxiety, to find motivation, to find happiness, to find confidence in yourself, and to go out and be successful with women, not just with women, with anything that you want to achieve in your life. And I'm going to start this live stream with a true story. And I haven't told this story for a long time, and the reason why I'm 10 minutes late, I was just literally writing a new newsletter that I haven't finished. I'm going to finish it and send it this evening, because I spoke to someone who was interested in helping me with my business, and he gave me a couple of ideas and made me realize that I can make my newsletters a lot more better for the people that subscribe to my mailing list. I can give a lot more value, because I'm a professional coach. I'm not a professional marketer, but I can improve and learn. So I thought I would tell a story that would explain, basically through me telling you the story, you guys would get the essence of how I got success in my life from being depressed and having anxiety, all sorts of mental health problems, negativity. And I would explain through that story the steps that I took. Sorry, I'm a bit stiff here. I'm stretching. I just actually came from the gym today. I feel good. Did weights, and I did swimming as well. So I'm going to talk about weights and swimming. I'm going to talk about a lot of things. And I'm going to be answering your questions. I'll answer your questions in a second. But I'm going to get myself a drink as well. Not an alcoholic drink, a normal soft drink. So what I'm going to say before we start, thank you for coming on the live stream. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, so you're going to get my regular YouTube videos that I make. Because if you don't subscribe, you're not going to get notified when I put a new video up. You might see the video late. You might miss the point I'm teaching. If I'm doing a new live stream and you're not on the YouTube channel, you're not going to know. And make sure that you get on my mailing list, because for the people that are on my mailing list, you're going to get the amazing student successes of students that take my 6-week transformation program. I share through the newsletter the results that they're getting, the challenges that they're facing. I also share tips, teachings, and different things that can really help men to build confidence, or anyone really. And I explain a lot of the methods that got me laid without me showing off. I'm not showing off. With really beautiful women who got me a girlfriend. Things that have helped me to go through really difficult times, and things that have helped my clients, and things that a lot of men respond really well to. And I also answer your questions through the newsletter. So let me explain to you how you can get on my newsletter. It's really simple. So go to my website, www.johnnyberba.com. I'm going to leave a link here. Actually, sorry, that's not. Let me get the link properly. Just bear with me. Let's get this link right. How is it? HTTP. I've completely forgotten now. Let me go and just paste this. In the meantime, when I get this link, hey, how you doing? How you guys doing, girls? Let me know where you're coming from and get your questions ready. I'm going to answer them. Yeah, you're a good man. See, yeah, that's right. I just forgot. I went blank. HTTP. You guys are on point today. I just came from the gym. I feel really good, and I feel a little bit sleepy, so I'm gonna have to get another coffee. JohnnyBerba.com. Now, apologies, the site could be a lot better. I'm going to improve my website this year, because I got the site done a couple of years ago. It's still a decent website, and I haven't titled the actual video course that you get on the website. So I'm going to make these adjustments. I'm in the process of improving my business. But what will happen is, when you sign up to my mailing list now, you're going to get a free video course that I've made for you guys. And it's specifically for guys that have got really bad anxiety, especially when it comes to going out and approaching women in coffee shops or on the street or anywhere, mainly in public. And hey Joe, how you doing from Malta? Great to have you on. And that video course is only 11 minutes long. And the great thing about it is it's not just me speaking, it's me actually demonstrating and going up to women on the street, showing you the first steps of how to say hello, how to give a compliment, how to get started. Now, in the video course, the essence of the teaching got me out of a terrible time I was going through about 8 years ago, and I was depressed, I had anxiety, I felt like committing suicide, I didn't have a girlfriend, I didn't have any income, I had no money, I was living at my parents' place at 28 years of age. So what I show you in the video course is exactly what I did to get me out of that position, and I'm literally writing the newsletter now that you're going to get this evening. So put your email in at www.johnnyberba.com and you'll get notified when I've got live streams coming up, free events in London, student testimonials, and I give a lot of tips. And I'll also answer your questions. And it's good to have you on the mailing list, because if you want to connect with me, you can email me. So yeah, and also if anyone wants to start my online 30-day anxiety program, which has sold all around the world, it's sold hundreds of copies in the last 3 years. It's a famous online video course that I made. Again, for any guy that's got anxiety, I'm going to share it with you now. This program is amazing. I made this over 2 days, and it's got 20 videos. All of the videos are infill videos as well, and I'm breaking down every step. It's basically a 30-day transformation. Here's the link if you're interested in getting it. It's really affordable as well. It's less than 50 euros. It will teach you my whole method online, so you can watch the videos of me. Everything's explained, it's broken down, and you get exercises to do every single day for 30 days. And it's unlimited access, so you can, once you buy it, it's yours for life. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking to you a lot about motivation. I really believe motivation is important. Let me just hold it. Can I get a glass of lemonade, please? Thank you. I really strongly believe that motivation and inspiration, which is what all my channel is about, is so important for people today. I mean, if we don't feel inspired and motivated, we don't even want to get out of bed. If we don't feel motivated and inspired, we don't even want to speak to people. We become socially anxious, withdrawn, we get down, we get depressed, we get lonely. I've been in these places, so I know what people are going through. So if you can find motivation and inspiration, you can very quickly get yourself out of this place. No, I haven't read the 48 Laws of Power. You can get yourself out of this place and you can literally change your life. You can overcome anxiety, social depression. You can gain confidence and you start getting results with women. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's not a made up story. It's not a crock of shit. I'm not trying to sell products through a story or trying to manipulate people. I'm not that kind of person. I'm an honest person. When I say honest, that doesn't mean that I've never made a mistake. But what I'm saying is it's a true story. So let me just hold on a second. Just a bit hot in here. I'll take this jumper off. So, okay, this is great. So this is a question actually I've got from one of you on YouTube. You asked me this question and I get it a lot. And someone said to me, Johnny, be honest, tell me the truth. Like, you know, obviously the guy's very skeptical. I understand he probably doesn't trust most people or believe in anything that's positive. He said, I'm living at home with my parents. I don't have any income. I don't have any money to buy any of your programs or to get any coaching or counseling. Is it possible for me to still get laid with a girl that I meet on the street and to get a girlfriend? Question mark. So I'll tell you the truth. And the real answer is yes and no. It's is it called a paradox or is it a contradiction? And what I mean by that is, for most guys, probably it's going to be it's going to be close to impossible. And I would say 90% of men won't be able to do it, but 10% of men will be able to do it. A reason being, it's not because the other 90% are not good enough. It's not because they can't do it. It's because they probably won't do it. Like most people who follow me on YouTube, probably 80% of them, 90% are never going to take my 6 weeks program. They're never going to do a boot camp. They're not going to invest their money. They're not going to take a course, and they're not going to go out and coach women. Statistics don't lie, but 10% will watch my videos and live streams. They'll get inspired. They'll face their fear. They'll go out. They'll face their anxiety. their shyness, and they'll start approaching me on the street, and they'll eventually get resolved. So it comes down to, if you've got the motivation and if you are literally at a point of rock bottom and you get motivated and you go out and face your fears, you can actually get laid with a beautiful woman despite having no money in your bank account and living at your parents' place. Why am I telling this? Because I did it when I was 28, and I'm going to tell you my story about how I met one of my first girlfriends from the street when I had when I say no money, I mean no money. No student loan, no savings. There was zero in my account. I didn't even have a pound on me, right? So this is what happened. So I'm thirsty there. Man, when you're thirsty, a glass of lemonade tastes great. Let me know if any of you guys are thirsty or hungry. Sorry, that's a bad joke. I'm in a good mood today. That wasn't even funny. I used to be funny. When I got to 35, everything went downhill for me. But before I was 30, I had more hair on my head. I didn't have this crazy hairstyle. I was probably a lot more attractive, probably more charming. Anyway, sorry, that wasn't funny. So coming back to the story, this is true. And you know what? If none of you don't believe me, that's totally fine. I'm not going to lose anything. I'm not trying to gain anything by telling this story. I just feel good about telling you the truth. But I sense that you'll believe me, because you kind of see my work, you get to know who I am online, and you see that I tell it how it is. I show my failures. I talk openly about my own struggles with my own anxieties in my life, and I show you my successes, and I talk about that. And I show you my life-changing transformations that I get for students that take my 6-week transformation program. Anyway, so I'm 28 years of age, and I'm living at my parents'. And just to give you a little bit of a heads up, I wasn't always living at my parents'. Actually, when I was 22, 23, I moved out of my parents, and I lived for a couple of years with my nan, who I was really close with. I love my nan very, very much. And I was working as a postman. I was a mailman for a couple of years, and life was pretty good back then, even though I was quite shy and I still didn't have the confidence to meet women. But my life was improving. At least I had a full-time job. I was helping my nan out with the rent. She was always great to me. She would let me stay at her place rent-free, but I wanted to help her. But I just didn't really have confidence to meet women. But when I got to age 28, I fell back into negativity. Before 28, about 25, I was taking drugs. I was getting into fights. I was around the wrong people. I was about to go into crime. I nearly went to prison. So I'll just give you a heads up that I've really come from a bad place. So at 28, I'm thinking to myself, how has this happened to me again? I've got no savings. I wasn't good at saving money. I've got no job. I'm at the lowest point of my life. My social anxiety is back. It's stronger than ever. I'm scared to go out and meet new people. I certainly didn't have the courage to do public speaking. And I was just dying of loneliness. But what happened to me and I don't have to go through every detail, but I was forced to answer 2 questions. The first question was, what am I going to do about this? Or 2 questions, like, what am I going to do about this? Am I going to just stay blaming? And to be honest, I was feeling probably how a lot of my clients were feeling who come to me. I was really angry at myself. I was really angry at the world. I was angry at people. I was angry at politics. I was pissed off with all of the rich, handsome celebrities who lived great lives, made loads of money. I was thinking, these people, this was my thought process at the time, not now. At the time, I was thinking, these fucking people, they don't know what it's like to struggle. They're not going through what I'm going through. So I was feeling sorry for myself, and I was angry, and I was feeling jealous as well. I was lowest point in my life. But then something in me, I can't explain it. I'm not going to get all religious on you. Something in me had this amount of faith that I can't explain it, but something said to me, if you go out and face your fears, you can get out of this. Like, you can get a girlfriend. Because I was paranoid at the time. I was thinking, no woman is going to sleep with me. No woman is going to date a guy who's 28, lives with his mum and dad. He's got no money. He's depressed. He's got no confidence in himself. What woman is going to want to date a guy like that? But something in me said, if you're honest, Johnny, like, spoke to me. If you're honest, well, I didn't say Johnny, I said Jonathan. My full name is Jonathan at the time. If you're honest and you're congruent and you go out and you be really fucking brave and you face everything in your life, you will make money eventually. Money will come to you. You will overcome your social anxiety. You will gain confidence. You will get laid and you will have a girlfriend. Because to be honest, at the time, at 28, I didn't want to sleep with loads of women. I just wanted a girlfriend who loved me and a woman that I could fall in love with. I was really looking for an intimate relationship. So I started hitting the streets with a friend at the time. he had money, he was in a better position than me. But to be honest, I think I was a lot more braver than him, not to compare, and probably more naturally gifted with women. So as I started to go out and speak to him on the street, I suppose it started to make me feel better about myself. It took my mind off the fact that I lived with my parents, even though my parents now a good relationship with my mum. My relationship with my dad was a bit difficult growing up, but they were still good people. Excuse me, they were never going to let me go hungry, but it didn't feel right. I felt ashamed, I felt embarrassed, and I constantly had a voice in my head saying, "What are you going to tell her? If you meet a girl and she likes you, what are you going to say? You're going to say, I live with my parents, I don't have any job, I've got no money, she's going to leave me." That was the insecurity. That was what my mind was telling me. But when I met Alina in Piccadilly Circus, when I first met her, I wasn't that into her. I just kind of approached her because my friend was approaching her friend, and I did it for the sake of it. She was cute and from Latvia, and I do like women from Eastern Europe. So I met her, went on an instant date with her, and we kissed. And then she went home, I went my separate ways, and I got a number. And I remember thinking, I don't know whether to text her or call her. She's probably not going to respond. And I texted her, she did respond. And we ended up meeting up on a second date. And then on the second date, actually, and I was, man, you can't even imagine how nervous I was. I was thinking I'm not going to be able to get an erection. She's gonna change her mind. She's gonna reject me, and I'm gonna feel like a worthless piece of dirt on the floor. So actually, she didn't reject me, and I slept with her. So technically, I've, I answered that question to the guy who wrote to me. Yes, you can get laid if you've got no money to live with your parents. Because when I slept with her, there was zero currency in my account. I think the only money that I had in my pocket, actually, I'm not embarrassed to say this now, I was embarrassed at the time. I think I borrowed £40 off my mum. My mum was good like that. I literally remember going to my mum and saying, "Mum, please, I've got a date with a guy, I really like her. I don't have any money. Can you borrow me £40? I can take her for a drink." So my mum borrowed me £40, and I would have paid for her on the date because I'm a gentleman. I'm not a tight person. We were never brought up like that. Always, I'm not saying I'm a saint, but always be kind and share things. So I think I bought her some drinks. I think she bought me one back, and then I got some food. So I probably had like a couple of pounds in my pocket, but technically I had no money. And I slept with her. And I was scared, I was shaking, I was nervous because I wasn't that experienced at 28. Didn't go with that many women. And when you like someone, you don't want to lose them. So after I slept with her, it was a bit awkward. I was thinking maybe it's going to be almost like a one-night stand, because I went on an instant date with her, and the second date we slept together. And she was kind of like, at first saying, "I'm not sure," and then she said okay, and then we made love. After it, I was shell-shocked because I finally could prove to myself that I could get laid from the street. And my mindset, I felt really good after getting laid. I started to feel like I could do anything because that was such a big deal for me, coming from where I was coming from. And then we started to meet up more regularly. We started seeing each other. She wasn't my girlfriend straight away. And eventually she found out, because I did lie to her at the time. I told her I was a personal trainer, and I wasn't. And she found out that I did live with my parents and I didn't have a job. And she said, "Why did you lie to me? Why didn't you tell me the truth?" I said, "Well, I felt a bit embarrassed. I didn't want you to think I'm a loser, and I was working before, and I do intend on getting a job." So when I told her the truth, she was fine with it. And I actually, first girl of my life, I brought her back to my parents and introduced her to my parents, and they liked her. And she started to stay with me at my parents at the time. It was a bit overcrowded, but it worked. And my life, like, I basically fell in love with her. She fell in love with me. And then after that, it was around 6 months later, I said to her that I'm really passionate. I want to teach men all around the world how to meet women. And for the first time, I actually had a girl or a person other than my brother who said, "I really believe in you. I think you could do that." I was really surprised that she supported me. And I feel a bit embarrassed to say this to you guys now and girls, but I remember even I had to borrow money from her, from my own girlfriend. Can you imagine how that feels for a man with my pride, the way I was brought up, to have self-respect? So I borrowed £30 off her, and I said, "I promise you from my heart, I will give you this money back, and I'll take care of you." So eventually, when I started to put the YouTube videos out of me approaching for the first time, I started to get comments from guys all around the world saying, "Wow, this is amazing. You're awesome. You're really brave." And then I started to get emails from guys saying, "Can you help me? Can you teach me?" And I didn't even it wasn't even like I was thinking at the time, "Oh, I want to make money." Of course I wanted to make money, but it was like, I really want to teach guys. I was so passionate to teach. I always wanted to help people. I was doing it when I was younger anyway, in a different way. So I hope I'm not making this sound confusing. You you can kind of tell that I'm telling the truth, because when you tell the truth about a story, you get emotional and you kind of stutter a little bit. I always get nervous when I'm really honest, because it triggers all my kind of insecurities about being judged for being vulnerable. But nonetheless, as you can hear, I started to improve my life, and finding a relationship with a woman initially with no money, living with my parents. Eventually, I was getting so many bookings for one-on-one coaching, paid coaching, that I was able finally. She was pushing me as well. Lena was saying to me, "Look, we've got to move out your parents," like, because she actually got a job herself. She's very independent, even though she come from Latvia. I really respect people like that. She had her own job, she had her own money. She wasn't using men for money, because some guys are paranoid about that. She certainly wasn't using me for money, because I didn't have any money. She borrowed me money, so she was a good girl. She had a good heart, and that's what I really liked about her as well. And we got on really well. She had a good sense of humor. To be open, we had a very good sex life, really intimate that way, and we really got on well. And I just felt really comfortable around her, and she felt the same around me. So she started to stay with me at my parents from week to week, and then she was living in her own rented place, but I wasn't allowed to go and stay with her, because the landlord, after one time me staying there, said I'd never want that guy to come back again. She didn't want any men. Fair enough. So eventually, and it wasn't that long after, I'd say it was about 1 year into dating Alina, I had saved enough money. I had enough money from clients and coaching. My business took off, and then we moved out and got our own place and rented it. So it's such a great story. But if I can explain to you guys today what got me the actual results, because you're probably thinking, how can I get the results that Johnny got? Or maybe in your own way. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. I'm telling you, man, I changed my mindset and I took massive action. And I didn't realize at the time, I just went out and faced every fear. So I faced my social fear of social anxiety, because I was frightened of people. Well, I would say psychologically afraid of people, not physically, but just sort of mentally, I was uncomfortable, I was paranoid. I started to, going out and approaching women, it really developed me. And that's why when I work with people on my 6 weeks program, they get the same benefits. And I know that, because I know what it's done for me. And I see it every week, what it does for the students. So with that said, my confidence really did increase when I met Alina. When she finally said the words, she said, "I really like you. I don't want to see other women. I want to be your girlfriend." And I said, "I want you to be my girlfriend too." So we fell in love. It's romantic. She was fine with me making YouTube videos as long as I wasn't sleeping with other women, which at the time I wasn't. I was just demonstrating, showing guys how to get a date, get a number, and approach. And so the videos took off. YouTube channel started to grow. Subscribers started to grow. I started to get emails from all around the world. The coaching picked up, and eventually I was coaching 7 days a week. I was exhausted, but I loved it. And then I had my own place with her. And then I became, the Johnny Berba brand became successful. I started getting interviewed by other people. And then I started to do public talks. So one fear that I faced inspired me to face the next one, next one, next one. And every fear that I faced gave me more confidence to face the next fear. So, I know it's possible because I've done it. So to answer his question, but the reason why I said, and I was honest, guys, hurt one's feelings, but 90% of people won't do what Johnny Berba did at 28 and what a lot of my clients do, because it does take a lot of courage. You do have to face everything. You have to face your fears. Now, of course, I don't want you guys to think it was that easy. Of course, it was easy. But on the path to meeting Alina, of course, a lot of other women rejected me. Of course, I went through challenges, and I was getting into arguments with my parents because I weren't working. So there was a lot of chaos going on in my life, but gradually, step by step, it started to improve. And the moral of the story is, no matter who you are, no matter what you've gone through in your life, no matter how bad your anxiety, social or anxiety with women, if you really get out of reading books and watching videos online and you start to take action, and what I mean by taking action is you physically face the things that frighten you, you grow in courage and strength, and eventually things seem to find a way of working themselves out. Like I said, I never had any business training. I wasn't a trained public speaker, but I was a guy that went out there and really just threw myself in the deep end. And I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm being honest. I didn't know if this business thing was going to work out. I didn't know if going out on the street and approaching women was the right thing to do. Am I going to get shouted at? Am I going to ever is it going to work? I had all these doubts. I had all these insecurities. And eventually everything did work out, and it grew and grew and grew. And then eventually, you know, I became really confident at teaching, and then I started to do public speaking. I didn't know if that was going to work out. It did. So everything for me in my life has always worked out when I faced my fears. And as you do it, your mindset will gradually improve. And that's really what I wanted to teach you guys and tell you today about. You know, if you've got massive anxiety, you know, anxiety is like a cocktail of negativity. You're going to feel depressed. You're going to feel like you don't want to make eye contact. You're going to feel that you don't want to go out and speak to people. But if you can push yourself whilst not feeling good about yourself and take action, it's therapy. It's therapy. It's medicine. You will start to get some good emotions. So that's the story I wanted to tell, and I've answered the question. So it is possible, but it does take willpower, mental strength, and you know you've got to you've got to face the fear. And wow, we've got so many questions here. I really appreciate you guys. I'm really sorry if I've not been able to answer every question I'm going to start answering, because I've been telling the story and teaching at the same time. I really just want to focus today on this one thing. I'm trying not to drift off. So please, guys, appreciate that. If I don't answer your question, it's because it's not relevant to the talk today, which is all about how to find motivation when you've got anxiety, social anxiety, or problems. How to still find the motivation to go out and speak to women and get results, get a girlfriend or get a date, and improve your life within all that anyway. Okay, so let's answer a couple of questions and we're going to keep going. Okay, a lot of you are really emotional about what you've been through. Which is interesting. I really appreciate. Okay. All right, so if any of you have got any questions about what I've just kind of ranted and spoke about for the last 20 minutes, please ask me and I'll answer it. If any of you are going through anxiety at the moment and you're not feeling good and you really want to start going out and approaching women, and remember, approaching women is a metaphor for changing your life. When I started going out approaching women on the street, I was ultimately trying to improve my life. And then when I met Alina, and she became my girlfriend, and then I built a whole business model and created a whole teaching based on how I met my girlfriend from the street. That gave me the blueprint on how to live successful in every life, and eventually that helped me to make money. And so everything affects everything. If you've got a bad relationship with yourself and people, then you will struggle to make money. You will struggle to get a girlfriend. But if you can work on these areas just by facing the fear, throwing yourself in, and listen, you don't have to be perfect. I'm far from perfect. No one is. And you don't have to succeed straight away. And you will fail. So I'm not saying that you're not going to fail a few times, but if you can handle failing and not take it personal and keep digging in, eventually, let me explain something that's really important. I don't think you guys and girls and people realize the value of just facing your fears. Regardless of what outcome you get, it makes you feel really, really good about yourself, and it gives you a sense of satisfaction. And when you feel good and your self-esteem is high, it's so easy, or it's a lot easier to make money and to make friendships and so forth. Do you think integrating the shadow will help ease anxiety? 100%. And what I've been saying on this live stream now, Michael, is exactly that. I faced my shadow. My shadow was, I'm not good enough. I'm insecure about my social skills. I'm not good enough to get a girlfriend. The girl wouldn't date me. I don't have any money. That my shadow 8 years ago. I faced it. I looked at all of it, and I brought the dark shadow into the light, and I proved all of it to not be true. So I obviously was good enough, and I did get a beautiful girlfriend, and then I was able to make money, which I did, and then I was able to move out of my parents and move in with her and rent our own place, and then I was able to become globally successful and transform people's lives all around the world. So the shadow will try and mess with you, and the blueprint in what I teach is you have to face the shadow head on. So it's not enough just to face it with a counselor, sit down and go, okay, I've got a shadow, and my shadow is telling me that I'm not good enough, or I can't meet people, or I can't trust people, or I can't make money, or I can't get out of a bad job, or I'm always going to be at my parents. You've got to challenge it, and you've got to do it consistently. So when I met Alina, I remember going out places, guys were always trying to hit on her, saying your girlfriend's beautiful. But what they don't realize is before I met her, so many women turned me down. I mean, too many to mention. And before I got a lot of clients and started being successful at getting business and getting paid clients, there was a lot of people that turned me down. A lot of people said, no, I don't want to work with you, or you're charging too much, or I don't think I should. I had a lot of problems with people initially, probably based on my own insecurities. And then it started to change. Then I started to get good clients. So I started to attract a lot of goodness in my life. Hey, Johnny, I changed my name. No, it's okay. It doesn't matter if you changed it. Okay, so Michael says he's in a shit job and he's living with his mum. So this talk, Michael, is really compatible to you, because you're in a position that I was in 7, 8 years ago, or a bit longer than that. And a lot of my clients actually that have come and done my 6 weeks program, I had a guy called Alex. I hope he doesn't mind me saying, I won't say his surname. He was with his parents. He was a virgin, and maybe he has a student loan or he had some savings. He took my 6 weeks program and done 2 boot camps. He got laid, lost his virginity from a girl he met on the street within 6 coaching sessions. And he's now he's building up his career. He's done public speaking. He's met his new friends. So he's got out of these positions and done really well. Integrating the shadow that holds you. Yep, I do Skype sessions. And if you are interested in booking a Skype session, here's my email address. Gmail. So I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not even gonna hard sell that much in this live stream. I'm just focusing on giving you a lot of value and giving you the tools, the steps, the process, and the psychology to go out and to overcome your anxiety, gain confidence, and get successful women and change your life. But if anyone is interested in booking Skype coaching or doing a 6 weeks program or a boot camp, or talking to me one-on-one, my email address is there. It's johnnyberba88@gmail.com. So I'm going to answer some more questions. I'm going to be explaining more of this talk. Hold on a second, let me just check something. Listen, in regards to price, if you want to know the cost of the price, just email me, because I promised in today's talk, I don't really want to be selling too much for this talk and negotiating business. If you want to work with me and you want to talk business, email me and we can do it after the live stream's over, so that I can help as many people as I can. So if anyone is interested in coaching or the price, or you've got any questions, then you can email me. Yep, I do one-on-one day game sessions. Mostly I do a 6 week program. I don't do too many one-off sessions. Usually half the day you have to book. It's not worth my time. But email me and I can answer your questions, and that way, Johnny Berba. So just email me and then we can do it that way. So moving on in the talk. So I think one of the key things I realized today, when I woke up today, I didn't feel that good. I felt a little bit in a fog, you know, when you feel a little bit like you're not depressed, you're not happy, you're not sad, you know, you're just a bit like, oh, another day, you know, another day of life, what should I do? And I was like, no, I'm not going to stay in this mindset. I want to be excited. What can I do? And I thought, you know what I can do? I can go to the gym. I'm excited. I can go and do a different workout, and then I can actually do swimming. And I love swimming now. Swimming for me, I don't know about you guys, it's been life-changing, and it really does reduce anxiety. It's great for your body. And I was really scared for many years to swim, which is why I faced the fear a few months ago. So I went gym today. I worked out, did some weight training, some sit-ups, and I went and done some swimming. And after, I felt so good. And now I feel really good, even better in this live stream. So the key is, and you're going to get a lot of days where you're not going to feel like going out approaching women. And these are the most valuable days. If you can push yourself to go out on the street and approach women when you don't feel like it and you feel shit and your mind's telling you that you're not good enough and you're not going to get any results and the girl's not going to date you and it ain't going to work out and things are never going to work out for you, and this guy's better than you, or these people are better than you, or these celebrities, or even me, your mind might even say, Johnny's Berba's good. He's an expert. It's easy for him, but I can't do what he's doing. He's different to me. He hasn't gone through what I've been through. All this negativity, we all have it. If you challenge it, you will eventually get what I call a breakthrough. And a breakthrough is when you get a moment of hope, you might get a bit of a good result, and that changes your whole psychology. It changes the physiology in your body, how you feel. And then you realize that a lot of it, our problems are, they're just negative thoughts that we get. And if we believe them too much and we identify, we're screwed. So it's about not identifying with these conversations. The mind can say all sorts of things, stupid things, judge you, but when you go out and challenge it, you prove the mind to be wrong, and you get yourself, more aligned, more present, and then you can actually really start enjoying approaching women. And when you start to enjoy the process, God, man, the universe shows up, God shows up, whoever, and then you start getting really good results. Let's read the questions. The fear is actually what others think about you stopping a girl on the street. Well, with this fear, what you need to do is, this is a really powerful tip, so listen carefully. When you've got a fear about other people judging you, and I mean, I'm in another 5-star hotel today, there's people looking over at me, probably judging me now, thinking, why am I talking out loud? I don't care. I'm not being rude. I've paid money, I paid my coffee here, tea. I'm not disturbing them. And if I am, that's their problem. I'm not doing anything wrong. So if you consciously put yourself in situations that make you fearful, or situations where you feel that people are evaluating you and judging you, and you practice being who you are, you will feel a lot more good about yourself. So when I went swimming today, there was a lot of people watching me, the lifeguard, other people, and I just got out of it. I didn't care what they thought. I was free, I was swimming, I was relaxed. But I wasn't like that on my first swimming session. So you need to practice. Shanae Bean Sauce. You need to practice bean sauce, approaching women on the street, stopping them in front of everyone until you become more comfortable with it. If you don't practice where you're uncomfortable, you will never get comfortable. And um, it's also really important about focus. Where you put your focus on consistently in your life is how your life is going to be. So instead of focusing on everything negative, you have to start focusing on the positives, and you have to set goals. And these are all the things that I did before I met my girlfriend Alina and moved out with my parents and made money and became successful in what I did and was able to help people. And I've continued to build on that success. I've got a lot more success stories. And it's funny because all of the guys that I coach on the 6 weeks program, all of them do what I'm telling you guys to do today, what I'm encouraging, inspiring to do, and they all get good results because they all invest in a program. And on the program, it makes them face their shadow, it makes them face all their insecurities, and it's in facing it that they gain confidence. I mean, how else can you gain confidence if you don't face the things that you're scared of or insecure, where you're weak? It's just like going to the gym. If you don't train your biceps, they're not going to grow and get stronger. If you don't do bench press, your chest is not going to grow. If you don't swim or run or jog, you're not going to get fit. So it's about training, and I trained for hours so I was able to meet Alina. I trained so I could speak on YouTube videos. I trained so I could coach people in person. And then I trained so I was able to make money and able to get good at marketing and business and communicate with people. I trained at teaching people. I constantly worked with people that had problems, that had anxiety, had low self-esteem, and I worked on building their confidence up. So it became really, really easy for me and natural. And now, moving on, I've got 8 years experience coaching people one-on-one, very personal and intimate and close up, and getting the results. So it can be done. Yeah, it's really true. A man's attitude will shape his whole life and reality. A lot of it comes down to perspective and the way that you see things. I mean, let me give you an example. On YouTube, statistically, I probably get about 90% love. 90% of people give positive comments under my videos. Only 10% are like haters or criticize me or say things about me or are nasty. So I don't focus on that. It's too small. It's too negative. Why would I focus on 10%? I focus on the 90%, people that love me, the people that really value what I do, the people that I can change their life. But most people are the other way around. If 90% of things were good about them, but 10% was bad, people love focusing on the negative. It's just the way people are a little bit dumb today. We live in a culture, I'm sorry to say it, where people are asleep. They're very unconscious. They're very naive, or anything negative, a headline, oh, they want to look at it. And I'm quite disciplined. I don't really get involved in that. I don't. So that mindset has really got me a lot of success. And these are the clients that I really only really work with. People that have got like a positive mindset attitude. They want to work on themselves. They will do the work. They're not just going to say, yeah, I'm going to go out and approach. So you need to be careful as well, guys, that you're not speaking too much more than you're capable of doing. So what I mean by that is you're not just bullshitting yourself and other people. You're not saying all these things that you're going to do in your life and you're going to become and achieve. But then the reality is that you've not done any of them. So, you just got to get to a point where you've just had enough. And sometimes I find with a lot of people that get great results in my 6 weeks program or a boot camp, they're the people that have been in the most darkest of places. They're rock bottom in their life. They want to commit suicide, literally. And it's from that place that they completely rebuild themselves up and change their life and get results. But however we go about this, whatever mindset we use or teacher that we follow, you still have to do the work. And Johnny Berba at 28, I really did the work and I continue to do it. So you've got to be relentless, you've got to be passionate. But ultimately, it's about enjoying it. When I was 28, I loved going out approaching. I loved my girlfriend. I loved life. I loved teaching. I love the challenge of making money. I love the challenge of helping other people to make money. I love the challenge of doing public speaking. I love the challenge of people criticizing me and not liking me in my industry, but then people loving me. I love the challenge of going on a podcast. I love the social challenges. I like being scared and nervous around people sometimes and being nervous to meet new people because I thrive in the scary places. So a lot of people don't realize that they can thrive in their insecurities. And then eventually those insecurities become your securities, if that's even a word. You're not insecure anymore. So, let me know today, yeah? Let me know if I've been inspiring today, because I feel that I have without not being arrogant. I feel that my energy is really good today. Let me know if this has inspired you. Right, so Michael, you've been through hell, my friend. You've been sectioned. You've been on antipsychotics. So you've been in the dungeon. I've been in the dungeon. I've been in those places, so I know what that's like. It's hell, isn't it? It's not glamorous. There's nothing good about it. But on another side, a lot of positive can come from that place because people like me and you, Michael, that have been in those places, we're the people that have gone to the lowest of low. We can go to the highest of heights, and I've done it. I've been in the lowest place and I've been in high places. Oh, that's awesome. You went. If I'm not shouting too loud here, I don't want to get thrown out. I just got back from Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, my first lesson. Oh, you're amazing. I'm really proud of you, man. I love people that take action. It's great. I was nervous because a lot of girls there. But you did it. You see, you did it. You did it. You were nervous, but you went through it and you managed to do it. And now you feel great. And that's really what the teaching is about. So that's really inspiring. Well done, Kat. Senju. Is it Senju? Can you get another lemonade, I think? Sorry, my phone's ringing. It's all go today. Okay. So, okay. So where was I? Sorry, I've got so passionate, I've gone blank. I'm gonna get another lemonade. I'm gonna do my usual thing. I'm gonna have a short toilet break. Give you guys like just 30 seconds to a minute just to process because I've been saying a lot of stuff and it can be quite overwhelming sometimes. So gonna go for a toilet break, order another drink, a lemonade. It's not alcohol, and then give you guys some time to ask more questions, and then I'm going to get into the latter part of this live stream. I'm going to share some really powerful stuff, so make sure that you stay on. And also as well, make sure that you get on my newsletter because the story I told today, I'm sending it out today about how I had no money at 28. I was living with my parents. I was socially anxious. I was in darkness. I was depressed. I was ready to quit life. My mind was telling me to commit suicide, but my heart was telling me, no way, I'm going to change my life around it, and I did it. So, yeah, what's up, Joe? Yeah, look, we've all been through it. And I always say to clients, I'm not embarrassed to talk to you about this, and I'm not embarrassed or I'm not uncomfortable for you to open up to me. And that's the great thing actually about with what I do. And I only started to appreciate that kind of this year, that men really do open up to me. And I'm not saying like, oh, look how cool I am, men open up to me, but I'm saying it's a very beautiful thing that when I'm coaching people, men will open up and tell me that all their insecurities, the shit that they've gone through, what they're going through. And I think the reason why they do this is because they trust me, because they see that I'm open about my shit as well. I don't just put out on YouTube all my glamorous bits, how much money I make or how many followers I have or how many girls that I've slept with. That's not really what I'm about. I talk about my struggles, about what I went through, about that I still struggle from time to time, despite having success and all the rest of it. So I'm a work in progress, like clients. I find the most honest, open people, obviously now within reason, not doing it, because some people go too far. They sometimes you've got to do it from the right place. You open up because it's relevant to tell the teacher so you can help overcome it. But if you're just open up about your problems because you want attention from people and sympathy, that's not the right way to go about it. So there is a balance between opening up to a therapist or a coach or a dating coach and telling them all your issues and what you're going through, what you've been through in the past, so you can actually overcome it. And that's why the guys open up with me. And I was working last week really intensely with a friend from Germany. He came over from Germany to London. He did a 6 weeks program with me, but he did it over 4 days. I've worked with him before. He's been over to London to work with me one-on-one. And he really opened up to me about what he went through, and I was able to share what I went through. And then we did a lot of healing work, really good therapeutic stuff. And then he went out and he's facing all of his fears. So I just wanted to add that as well. Yeah, I appreciate that. Well, for me, right, the way I see it, and it's nice that you guys compliment me and people do, but it's not like I'm not being I'm not being honest and open because I want people to like me per se. Even though obviously I want people to like me, we all do, but I ain't doing it as a technique. I'm not doing it to win brownie points. I'm doing it because that's just who I am. That's how I was brought up. That's what feels right in my own heart. So I'm not going to come onto YouTube or meet any client face to face or do a talk and just talk shit really and just be dishonest. It doesn't fit for me. So I'm going to tell the truth, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. So I'm excited to tell the truth about how amazing that my coaching programs are, my teaching, and how it can definitely change anyone's life who puts the work in and does what I asked them to do. But I'm also, inspired to talk about the challenges that we all face and the fact that I've struggled with my own mental health challenges, with depression, social anxiety from in periods, addiction, and having low self-esteem initially, but then kind of coming out of that and improving my life. So that's just kind of who I am. But I realize there's a lot of people online that they're not as forthcoming or honest. They're never going to be that open. They're not going to share this with people because they're scared of being criticized, judged, or maybe they think it's going to not promote their businesses. But am I an empath? I've heard that word before. Yeah, I would say I am. I'm very empathetic with people, which is a good thing. So anyone who is empathetic, that's good. I've been doing a lot of shadow work, so lots of churning of emotions and facing truth. Hence why I watch this channel sometimes, because I sense authenticity. That's great, Joe. And the shadow work's really good. It's always painful and uncomfortable initially, but then it changes. Johnny, have you ever approached a girl at the gym? I find it the most intimate. It's funny that you said that, Mark, because I just went to the gym today. I laid off it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I started feeling like I was making excuses, So I pushed myself today, and I really enjoyed the gym. It's really changed my energy. I feel a lot better today on this live stream now. And the thought actually came to my head, should I approach? And today I was like, I actually don't want to approach a girl in the gym today. I just want to focus on what I'm here to do, which is to work out, enjoy myself. But having said that, listen, I've approached women in all kinds of places, and I think if you want to do it, then do it. So, like you're asking me, like, is it appropriate, or like, you decide really, because if you don't think it's appropriate to approach a girl in the gym, it never will be. If any of you think it's not appropriate to approach a girl on the street, it will always be a problem for you because it's your projection. So if you are cool about it, and I watched my first mentor, Floyd, talk to loads of girls, well, that's where I first see him approach in the gym. I see him get numbers in the gym and then he did it on the street, and that's what changed my life. Seeing him do it inspired me to do it. And I've approached girls in the gym as well. I know I haven't filmed it on YouTube yet, but that doesn't mean I haven't done it. I've done it in all sorts of places. Probably places I've done it that are harder than the gym. I've done it on the train when it's packed. I've done it in, places like this 5-star hotels where people are a little bit more, I don't know, conservative or quiet. What's that? Is that my? I didn't even notice that. Sorry. Oh, they just gave me some nuts here. That's great. Some snacks. I didn't notice it. So I guess what I'm saying is, Mark, if you want to do it, then just do it. Well, it can be awkward. Obviously, if you're in the gym working out and it's quite small and open, and you approach a girl and she doesn't want to talk, it actually happened to me, Mark. Sorry. The gym I'm going now, a couple of weeks ago, I was with my first mentor, Floyd. We went gym together, and this girl came in, very attractive looking, in her 20s. And I stopped in the gym, and I think I just said, "Are you from Germany?" I think she said yes, or she's from Russia. No, I asked her if she's from Russia, and she said she's German. She wasn't interested in me, and she didn't want to talk to me. She wasn't rude, and then after about 2 minutes, she just kind of walked off, and I just said, "Okay, enjoy your workout." And I didn't allow it to be awkward. Like I was like, I'm not going to let her ruin my day just because she's turned me down, and I'm not going to let my ego beat me up. So I just, let her get on. She went on the running machine. I didn't speak to her again. Fair enough, she didn't like me. I'm not a that sore loser. So nothing bad happened. I just continued and enjoyed my workout. So I think, men, you make it a big deal than what it has to be. So I'm snacking here. So
hello, ladies. No,
enjoy your meal. Cheers, man. Has a girl ever laughed and mocked me for what I do? Yeah, lots of girls, not loads. But it's funny because whenever women find out what I do, that I'm a dating coach or I'm a confidence, I coach people, and they see my videos, I get 3 reactions. It's someone's birthday today. It's not mine, thank God. One is like really positive. Like girl will say, "Wow, it's amazing what you do. I really respect you." And they're usually girls that I end up sleeping with and dating. Another one is, "Do you really do that?" It's like they're skeptical. Do you actually get paid for it? Are you sure you're a dating coach? Because they kind of, maybe they judge me and they don't believe it. Another one is like very judgmental, like it's wrong what you're doing. You shouldn't be filming, going out meeting women. So, like I said to you earlier, I don't focus on the negatives, guys. I focus on the positives. So I really don't care what people think about me, what I do. I believe in what I do. I love what I do. I'm passionate. I couldn't give a flying damn what people think, because they're going to think what they're going to think. I just focus on the people that love what I do. I focus on what I do. I don't even think about it. Only that you've answered me the question, you've made me think about it. So I'm not focused on that. The more awkward, the better. I approach 1 girl minimum every time I hit the gym. That's good. 30% good reaction. That's good. You got a good mindset, Joe. That's a good mindset. I can just tell by what you've written that you're in a good mindset. You're improving. And all of it comes down to mindset at the end of the day, and we can all change our mindset. Yeah, of course. I mean, Alan Watts says, if you're not getting paid to do what you love, then this is not me saying it. I'm not calling anyone this, but he says, if you're not getting paid to do what you love, you're stupid. And what he means by that is that people don't realize their own potential. They don't realize that you guys, maybe you don't realize that you can get paid to do what you love. So, but it's about facing the fear. All of the poetic talk and the quotes comes down to, are you living it? Are you doing it? And remember, let me tell you something about success. Success is never easy. Making money is never easy. You know, getting successful is not easy. You know, coaching people is not easy. And it's for that reason why you should do it. Because anything that's easy, you don't value it. We're human beings, we don't value what comes too easy. But at the same time, there's another contradicting truth. When you get yourself right in a good place, doesn't mean perfect. No one's perfect. No one's asking you to be perfect. Success can come so easy, like when you're not stressing about it. And sometimes the more you want something, the more you can't get it. It pushes it away. Alan Watts talks about it, the law of attraction with women and life. The more you let go of it, the more it comes towards you. But these are all sort of truths in the world. They're truths that every single person will be exposed to at some point to figure out. And these are truths that I found out. I never believed I'd be doing what I'm doing now. You know, this insecure guy with social anxiety that had a bad relationship with his dad, that got bullied growing up, that was laughed at all the time. I was always seen as the loser guy around my area in school. So I had such a bad relationship with myself. I never thought this apparently loser guy would be successful and confident and, you know, inspiring people from all around the world, literally doing that and meeting so many amazing people and having such open honesty with people because I faced my fears. Could you reply to my previous question, please? Andre, okay, what was your previous question? Let me just scroll down because there's a lot here. Johnny, I'm 39 years old. I'm somewhat bald. It's too brave from me to chase young college girls here in Eastern Europe. I look decent, I work out, all that nonsense, but I'm not sure about this at all. Sounds to me like age is a problem for you. You know, I'm 35, you're 39. Some of my clients are 45, 46, and you've got to challenge this because it's not really a big deal. You're making it a big deal. So challenge it. You have to challenge. That's what it comes down to. Facing fears is the same as challenging your beliefs. How can you get rid of social anxiety? By socializing more. You have to socialize a lot until you become more desensitized to anxiety. Hey, Backgam, how you doing? It's been a great day. All right, I'm just going to go for a quick toilet break. I'm going to get myself another glass of lemonade because I'm drying up here. And I'm going to answer more of your questions. I'm going to get deeper into the talk. You're very welcome, Andre. Or Andrea. I'm back in a few seconds, guys. I'll just give you, do whatever you do not run away from this live stream. I'll tell you how important looks are when I come back, Michael. We'll go into that. Let me hold you to that question. And I'm going to give you guys a lot more things that are going to change your life.
Yeah, just on the right stuff.
Okay, guys, welcome back. If you've just come on this live stream, then you've just come on this live stream. That was a really bad joke. I used to be funny, and I don't know what happened when I hit 30, 35, it all went downhill. Again, that's a joke. It's not funny. I used to be funny. Right. If you come on this live stream, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, I will send the boys round. We're going to send the guys round to come and get you. Again, that weren't funny. See, when you try to be funny, you're not funny. So you can subscribe if you want to. If you feel like, listen, if you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you like what I do, you like what I'm saying, my videos are helping you to change your life, and you're curious about yourself, you're really kind of thinking, how can I overcome my fears and get results? Like, what's Johnny Berba about? What does he teach? How is his students doing? Is this stuff really real, what he's teaching? Is it honest? I'm skeptical. Subscribe to the channel and then take it from there. And you can always unsubscribe. It's free anyway. So today we've been talking about motivation and inspiration. How do you motivate yourself when you feel like shit? Let's be honest. Let's be truthful. How do you motivate yourself when you've got social anxiety? How do you motivate yourself when you haven't got any money? How do you motivate yourself when you're living at your parents' place? How do you motivate yourself when you're not even excited about life anymore? I've been there. You've been there. Maybe you're still there, and I've got myself out of those places. And I've literally inspired the whole world through what I teach. And to sum it up, my teaching is really very simple. I mean, I suppose psychologically, it's difficult for people. I'm challenging, so is my teaching. But on a physical, practical level, my teaching is really simple. It's just about being aware and honest about anything that you're frightened of, and then pushing yourself to just jump into the fear and just hope for the best. If you totally mess up and everyone judges you and you embarrass yourself and you don't get the result, that's fine, because it still takes courage to go and face it. The people that are judging you, I guarantee you, they're not doing what you're doing. But on another side, on a positive note, you're probably going to get a great result. You're probably going to gain more confidence. You're probably going to feel really good about yourself for doing it, and that's really the main thing that really matters. And if you do it again and again and again and again, no, there's no sexual innuendo in this, guys. Again, that was a joke. I'm not funny. I used to be funny. I'm trying to be funny again. I love comedy though. Anyway, I'm not funny anymore. So let's see, Senegals. Hi Johnny, you're great. Would love to meet you one day. Awesome. Well, you could meet me if you wanted to. I'm doing a free Phyllis event in London on the 10th of February. You're welcome to come. I can tell you more about it. It's basically an event where I make people face fear. That's it. It's a Phyllis event. It's free. And if you want to do coaching with me, you can email me and you can book coaching. So when we get down to practicalities, things are very simple. What most people do, what I still do, because I'm not perfect, we bullshit ourselves. We complicate things, that we let our mind take over and exaggerate. Right, Johnny, I've discovered that cold showers, wow, that's interesting. I'm interested in water fasting from 1 to 5 days, becoming vegan and working out, very good against anxiety. I totally believe you. Speaking of water, I went swimming today and I feel so much more aligned in myself today talking. I feel relaxed. I don't feel anxious. I feel good. I feel happy. I feel more present, and I really believe in swimming or fasting and all these kind of things. But having said that, I will be critical too. I think sometimes, I'm not saying you're doing this, mate, but a lot of people will use excuses, like they'll use meditation or fasting or no fat. And I'm not saying these things are bad. They'll kind of use that as an escape from facing their actual fear, and probably their fear would be something like social anxiety or approaching women on the street. So be careful that you're not using anything, even a positive thing, to escape the real issue of your fears. So by all means, do anything like no fat, fasting, meditation, any of these sort of therapeutic things. They're great, but make sure that you're actually facing the actual fear in your life. In my case, the fear in my life was people and women. Women are people, right? Yeah, women are people, men are people. Yeah. Again, it was another bad joke. Okay, about looks. Now, again, I'm gonna give you two answers. I'm gonna give you the truth. So if a guy says, Johnny, cut the bullshit, does looks matter with women? I'm gonna say yes and no. Looks do matter, but they don't matter. Now, would any of you really say, and maybe you're gonna be polite, now would you say that I'm a good-looking guy? I mean, if I'm being really honest, I would say I'm probably, this is how I feel, I would say I'm slightly above average. I'm not the best looking guy, I'm not the worst looking guy, but I've seen good-looking guys come through my boot camps and do my 6 weeks program who are really bad with women. Otherwise, why would they be paying me? They wouldn't be on the coaching program. They quite good looking. See, quite. So we would all agree that I'm not massive looking, but look at the results that I get with women because of my confidence and just because I've practiced so much and I've been through so many rejections. So if you're good looking but you're not confident, your looks ain't going to mean shit. If you're good looking and you're confident and you're good at women, approaching them, of course, it's going to do well. But what you can do is, if you're not a good looking guy, you don't feel you're good looking, you can change your hairstyle, you can groom your beard, you can start working out. So I would say that the real question you should be asking, a better question would be, does confidence matter with women? Does that sort of answer my question? So I'm not trying to be a smart dating coach and get out of it because I'm uncomfortable. I don't mind being uncomfortable. If looks matter so much, I'd go, yes, they do. But if that was the case, then only the good-looking guys would be getting laid, and it's not the truth. So confidence is very important. Yeah, it must be the Irish in me. It's only the Irish. What if I told you guys that, and I'll probably write about this in my newsletter, make sure you get on it and do a YouTube at some point. At periods in my life, it's been easier to sleep with really beautiful looking women than it has been with women that are, maybe stereotypically less physically attractive. Anyway, that's another story. That's good. I'm telling you now, I'm going to say it again. I'm working with Aidan at the moment. He's done my 6 weeks program. Andrea, I want you to look at Aidan's transformation. I don't know if you know about I said I wouldn't sell too much in this live stream. I'm going to stick to that. Look at Aidan. He's 39. They say he's turned 40. He's 39 when he done my 6 weeks program. Aidan's inspired people all around the world. A lot of people like my coaching series of Aidan. And you see how good he got. It does. I'm working with a guy at the moment. He's 50 and he's signed up to my 6 weeks program. He's completed it. He's doing another 6 weeks and he's doing really well. 39 is it's a baby. I mean, years ago, like 35, it's young now, even 50. So you're in your prime. But it's confidence that you need to gain. So yeah, I'm just having some snacks here, some nuts. So I was going to say, where was I? Yeah, I'm going to answer some more questions and I'm going to talk a little bit more. Yeah, definitely check out Aidan's transformation so you can see me coaching someone who is, your age. You'll see that he got results. It's true, your age is not printed on your forehead, it's in your mind. Do I believe in NoPap as much as I used to, Johnny? I've got to be honest with you, no, I don't. I'm not against it. I just don't really, I'm not really that passionate about it. I just think it's another thing that can be good if men do it. I think what's more important is that you face your fears on a practical level. That's way more important. But I suppose it's what's important to you, and that can be different for everyone. Excuse me. Okay, this has come to me now. So I think a lot of people, when you're fearful about something and you're insecure and you're struggling and you're constantly thinking about, you kind of question yourself, you're kind of questioning, this is a conversation a lot of people have, and please follow me, this guy's important. You're questioning, is it actually possible for me to get a result? So maybe it's possible for Johnny Berba because I saw his videos and he's a dating expert. It's possible for my friend, or it's possible for this guy in the club. Or I've seen these YouTubers going out meeting women on the street, possible for them, but is it possible for me? And your mind will probably say, no, it's not possible. But what happens is when you challenge that insecurity and you face it, you face like, for example, if you think, well, I'm 39, so I couldn't go out on the street and meet a girl who's 25, an attractive girl. She wouldn't speak to me because I'm too old. When you challenge that and go out, you might have to approach a few 25-year-olds, and some might tell you that, but eventually one's going to be interested in you. When you get that feedback, that's when your mindset changes. That's when you feel good, because you get proof that it's not true what you were worried about or what you thought you couldn't do. And that's the great thing about overcoming fears and beliefs. There's nothing more satisfying to a man or a woman when you've conquered something that's been bothering you a long time, or something that you thought you were insecure about. Like, if, for example, if you think you're socially anxious and you can't do a public talk, and then you go and do a public talk and it goes well, after you do it that evening, you're going to really enjoy your food, your tea. You're going to be thinking, I'm so awesome, I'm proud of myself. So I see it every week when I coach people. I see this constant reaction. The guys are proud of themselves. And that's how I feel when I challenge myself. So that should be enough incentive for anyone to face their fears and improve their life. How many of you are, I'm trying to find out the demographics. How many of you living in London? Or how many of you from the States or from abroad? Just trying to get to know where all of you are from. I know some of you already. I've got to know background well. I know you're from Portsmouth. I've got to know Joe a little bit. You said you're from Malta, is it? Who else is there? I've got to know Mark Anderson. I know Michael Ferrer. I pronounced your name right. Some of you I don't know. You're new. Oh yeah, I know Jeremy's from Canary Wharf. I know Patrick's from Netherlands. I haven't been to New York yet, no, but I'm dead excited to go. What's the other question we got here? Yeah, the pyramids. That's awesome. Yeah, I was talking to my mum about it the other day. Actually, I told my mum about you. I said I was live streaming, and one of the guys is from Portsmouth, and he remembered the pyramids. My mum's like, "Oh my God, you still remember that?" Oh, you're from USA, Mark. Wow, I didn't know that. I thought you were from England. Oh, okay, that's great. I'd like so much to experience that feeling, Johnny. You will experience it, my friend, when you take action. Believe me. Okay, great. We've got someone from Italy. I'm working with a guy on my 6 weeks program at the moment. He's from Italy. He's a really cool guy. He's doing really good. I like the Italians. They're kind of bold. They've got a no bullshit attitude. They're just straight. It's good. Wow. So we've got Netherlands. We've got New York. We've got the USA. We've got Italy. We've got Canary Wharf. Nothing beats cold approaching. I swear to you guys, Johnny, it took me almost 2 years to do my first approach at night. I could approach, but during the day I was scared, shaking. Wow. We've all felt that. I'm in Eastern Europe, Romania. Awesome, man. Well, I love Eastern Europe, man. I absolutely love the women, and I like the people as well. I get on well. I'm not generalizing here, obviously. No, I don't get on with every Eastern European person in the world, or every American, or anyone, but generally, they're good people. Johnny, have you ever thought about doing a yearly meetup seminar? Yeah, I mean, at the moment, Mark, I'm doing monthly seminars in London. You're from New England, Michael Ferrer, that's great. But listen, I'm challenging myself too. You guys are pushing me as well. So I have got a fear to come to America. I've spoken openly about, I told everyone I am working on this fear. I don't know what I'm frightened of. I'm afraid of the good, not the bad. Maybe I'm going to enjoy it. I won't want to come back to England, but I'm going to push myself to do it this year. You guys will see if that happens or not. I hope it does. I'll do what I can. I'm, the same that I'm telling and teaching you guys, I'm applying myself. Excuse me. And I'm also learning from other mentors online that also inspire me as well. So yeah. Yeah, I know there's nothing to fear. I was working with an American client, Mark. He originally based in London, but he lived out in the States, got American accent. He came over to London on business, and he booked a 3-hour coaching session with me. And he was on the live stream, same one you was on, Mark, I think a couple of weeks ago. And I was doing it from my parents' place over Christmas time. And I got on really well. I said to him, I'm not just saying it because you're you know, because you paid for my coaching and you're a client, but I really love working with guys from America. They're really nice people. They're really honest and open, and they're always interested. Especially, I get on really well for some reason with entrepreneurs, business people, creative people. That I just really have a great intimate session. And he said I should come States too. That's funny. I forgot to say it. Yeah, the success stories. I work with a guy from Romania. Listen to this story. This is, I mean, this is the truth. You know, it's funny. Every time I'm telling them the truth, right? This is really weird, guys. If you get this, this is how negative our society is. When I'm about to tell something that's really true, especially about success stories of students, I get a voice in my head that tells me that I'm lying, and it's not the truth. Obviously, it's just like psychotic. So I'm about to tell you something true, and then this voice says, "No, that's not true. What you're saying." I'm like, "Well, it is true. That's actually so inaccurate. That's like me sitting here now with this glass of lemonade in my hand, and a voice saying, 'No, you're not holding a glass of lemonade in your hand.'" And so the mind is very, very. You've got to be careful. My mate Tom says that. Basically, a guy, I didn't know who he was. He phoned me up about 3, 4 years ago. Got a call. I said, "Hello." He goes, "Johnny, is that Johnny Berba?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm interested in your coaching, a 6 weeks program. I found your website." And he told me actually the video that he found was, I think I did a video a long time on YouTube, how to meet women in London. And I basically went around parts of central London showing, you know, I basically done a tour guide around London. I didn't think the video was that great. He found that video, seen my videos, contacted me, said to me he was been suffering from social anxiety, not good with women, not in a good place. And then, you know, he was straightforward. We closed the deal over the phone. He signed up. I didn't know much about him. I met him. And I never realized that the relationship, this is what would happen. I did 6 weeks program with him. I'll be honest with you, he actually initially, he didn't get great results to start with. And I usually always get real good results. It was quite a hard case like myself. And a lot of my clients actually are not hard cases. They get results quite quick. He was really struggling. So he done another 6 weeks with me, a second one. And on the second one, he started to pick up and get better results. And then he eventually started to get on dates. And then I think I met him again. He was going to do another program with me, and he didn't end up doing it. And I didn't hear from him. And we, you know, we got on very well. He was a very good guy. He's a business guy. And then I got an email out of the blue from him. He would email me from time to time, and I kind of got a bad feeling. I was like, I hope he's not upset with me. I didn't, for whatever reason. My mind can be negative too, guys. And he said, "Oh, Johnny, click the picture that I've sent you below. There's a link." And when I clicked on the picture, it was a picture of him with his wife at his wedding, you know, and a wedding picture. And when I looked at the picture, he looked great, looked happy. His wife was beautiful, really attractive. And he said, "Thanks to you, thanks to your coaching, I would never have met my wife." And I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." And then it doesn't stop here. This is, I'm not joking. I showed my mum this actually. About 6 months later, it was him again. He goes, "Got more good news, Johnny. Click the picture below and meet my son." And I was like, he goes, he sent me a picture, an email of his firstborn baby boy. And he goes to me, this is actually really emotional because I forget sometimes what I'm doing. I don't think it's a big deal. He goes, "Without you and your coaching, my son wouldn't be born in this world," something like that. "Love you. Thank you very much. We have to meet up soon for food." So that just triggered. That was a Romanian guy that I work with, friend. I'm not going to say his name and details. And that's a sign of, like, he did it, man. He come from a bad place and did it. So it's not only me that did it, it's many other guys that have done it. So that means that any of you can do it if you put the work in. Romanians tend to be shy. Yeah, he was a shy guy. He was quite shy, but he was very nice and very honest and very integral, which is why I like working with him. And he had quite bad anxiety, so I could relate to him. But then he gained a lot of confidence, and then he got it, man. And obviously not every student gets a wife and has a firstborn baby son, but everyone gets a really good result. So that was a true story, and I should tell these stories more. But as I said, I got to battle my own voices as well, because I think what it is we live in we kind of live in a culture where people are very skeptical about anything positive. If I was to talk about something negative, everyone would believe me. If someone was to make lies up about me, and sometimes one guy actually, it's interesting. I don't know who it was, but it doesn't bother me. He was saying I'm a fraud, basically commenting on all my videos, going, Johnny's a fraud. You know, he doesn't teach anything good. Don't listen to him. But obviously, it's a hater. It didn't bother me at all, not at all. My other friend Tom gets this, and he's really successful, and he's not a fraud. He's very honest. So I was just like, fine. You know, I get so much positivity. Someone's got to not like me. Someone's got to not believe me. But you know, it's kind of type of world that we live in. Hey Lawrence, what's up? I don't know if you're Lawrence I worked with, or I had a great time with. If you are, great. If it's a different Lawrence, still great. So, do you know what? I didn't watch. I'll be honest with you, yeah. I didn't. Oh, awesome, Lawrence. How you doing, mate? You got a picture. That's good. I didn't watch the Gillette advert. I'm not going to watch it. I sense it's negative. I'm not, guys. I'm not being like this overly optimistic guy. I can be negative too, but I'm not. I don't get involved in that stuff. This gossip, media, and I was just alluding to making a point when I said to you guys earlier that anytime I'm about to say something really truthful, I get a voice in my head. It's my own. It's not even. Probably is my own insecurity, and it's the bad conditioning. And the voice says I'm lying. I told my friend this once. He was laughing. We're sitting down. He's a really good guy, entrepreneur, very honest as well about his struggles. And I said, you know what? I said, we were joking about what our minds were saying. And I said, I'm sitting down with you now and I'm making eye contact with you. And my mind's telling me that I've never got laid with a girl before. And he started laughing out loud, and I laughed because obviously that is clearly not true. Just the same way that I'm holding up these nuts in my hand. There's nuts in there, not someone's balls or nuts. Again, that was a joke. That wasn't very funny. I'm trying to be funny, and I used to be funny, but since I got to 30, everything went downhill. Again, that's a joke. Everything didn't go downhill. When I got to 30, things actually improved. I lost a little bit of hair, but that's okay. I gained a lot more subscribers. Again, that's not funny. That's anyway. But yeah, but basically what we were saying, me and my friend Tom, is that our mind says things that are not true. Like my mind will still tell me from time to time that I'm a loser and that I can't get any women and I can't make any money and I can't help anyone. But I don't believe it. And when I look at the facts, it's not true. And I know that all of you suffer that as well. But the problem today is that most of us don't talk about mental health. So I don't know what my point was. My point was all the success stories that I just told you about, all of the clients that you guys found touching, they're 100% true. And the critic, this guy that was writing on my videos that I'm a fraud and I can't help anyone and I'm not good with women, and he's obviously, it's not true. But people are going to have their opinion, and that's fine. Anyway, on a positive note, so I've spoken a lot today. I've spoken a lot about motivation and inspiration. And I wanted to keep this talk focused on how to help someone who has got severe anxiety, massive anxiety, social anxiety or approach anxiety with women, kind of the same, how someone can go from that place and get good results. And I told you a story about my life earlier on, and I'm literally now writing a newsletter that I'm about to finish. So it would be great if you could get on my mailing list because you're going to read this as well. And I told the story earlier on, and I'm going to leave this live stream up so some of you can watch this back. And I was that guy. I had terrible anxiety when I was 28. I had no money. I was living at my parents' place, and I felt like the most insecure man on the earth. And I had all of these negative voices, and I didn't have really much of a support around me. But it was either for me commit suicide, which I wasn't going to do, I didn't want to do, or follow this intuition. It's hard to explain, that said to me that everything's going to work out for me if I go out and face all my fears. And that's what I did. When I really break down my life, what I did was I faced my fear of people, my social anxiety, and I faced my fear of approaching women on the street. And I kept doing that. And in the midst of doing it, I got rejected. I got embarrassed sometimes. I got awkward. I got turned down, but I didn't quit. And I eventually found my second girlfriend that I met on the street called Alina. Alina was actually, she was the love of my life. And when I met her on the street, I didn't have any money. And when I say no money, I'm not saying, when people say they've got no money and then they've got like 100 grand saved, I had nothing. I had no savings. I had no job. I had no loans, no credit cards, which is probably a good thing. And that wasn't a joke, by the way. It sounded comical. But I didn't have any savings. So when a guy asked me the question, can I get laid if I live with my parents and I've got no money? My answer is yes and no, because you can get laid if you've got no money and you live with your parents, but to do the work to get that result, you've got to go through hell. So I met Alina with no money in my account, living with my parents, but after meeting her and getting a result, I was then inspired to make YouTube videos. And then I started to believe in myself, and those videos attracted me clients. Then I made money from changing people's lives and coaching them. And then I got enough money to move out of my parents and rent my own place with Alina. So the moral of the story, my life, and my teaching to people is that if you face your anxieties and fears consistently, you will overcome them and get the result that you want. Because there's two things that my clients want, and there's two things that I want and you want. They want freedom from their fears and anxieties. They want freedom from that, and they want to get the result. They want to get the result in their life that their anxiety is stopping them. Makes sense, doesn't it? So my general client, he's suffering with anxiety. And anxiety means low self-esteem. He doesn't believe in himself. He's got a history of negative experiences with women. He's not comfortable in himself. So that's stopping him from getting laid. That could be what he wants. It's stopping him from being more social. It's stopping him from getting up, from feeling depressed and lonely. And it's stopping him from getting, could be a wife, could be a girlfriend, or he might just want to be single and have a ton of dates with women. It's stopping him from doing it. So my teaching, the essence of what I teach, the honest truth is, if he pushes himself in a lot of situations, if he basically speaks to lots of women and faces his anxiety many times, the anxiety will start decreasing, the confidence and the self-esteem will start increasing, and all those voices that say you're not good enough, you've always been like this, you're awkward, you're a loser, you're an embarrassment, people are judging, all that conversation that I had, and I still have sometimes, that conversation will be overridden, it will be blocked out or completely removed, and there'll be a new conversation. And a new conversation will say, I can get laid with women. And the reason why your conversation will say it, because you'll be next to a girl on your bed that you've got laid with, that you met, and then she'll be your girlfriend, and then anything else. So I suppose it's all about changing the conversation by challenging it. I told you I'm not really going to answer these questions about how many girls have I slept with, how many girlfriends have I had. I'm not into the bragging and the ego stuff, so I won't answer that. I only talk about a girl that I've met if it's actually relevant to the teaching to help people, and I don't feel it's really going to help you or anyone for me to talk about. No, none of you really care about how many girls I've had sex with or anything like that. How have you dealt with heartbreak? Sorry to hear about Alina. No, you don't need to be sorry with Alina, actually, because we didn't end on bad terms, and she didn't leave me. It was kind of mutual, and I still have good feelings towards. I've got no bad feelings, so you don't need to be sorry about that. I've had my heart broken by other girls, but anyway. So this answer your question is very relevant. A lot of my clients have gone through this. How do you deal with a heartbreak? I'm going to give you the truth, probably not what you want to hear. There's a lot of coaches out there and teachings that are not honest. You deal with a heartbreak by going through it. Heartbreak's one of the hardest things to go through. So I don't have a quick fix. It's not easy. There's two ways I deal with it. Got to sit through it, got to cry a bit, got to suffer, got to think about the person, got to feel a little bit insecure. But then you've got to find your purpose again. And what that does is it basically, you heal, you get over the pain, and then you meet someone else. And I know it can sound a little bit not patronizing you. I think there's an Irish saying, it's true. It says the only way to get over a woman is to find another one. And that can sound like really rude advice to someone that's just had their heart broken and really struggling. But in the midst of its truthfulness, it's true. But within finding another girl, you have to go through a bit. Wow, we've got 31 people watching. This is incredible. This is a lot of people to be on a live stream. I think I've broke a record, 31. I've been speaking for an hour and a half, so I have to stay a bit longer. Hang on a second. I need to charge. Sorry, my battery's running out. I'm going to start answering some questions. And you know what's funny, guys? The more I'm getting into state, I'm going to share this with you as well. I'm going to teach this at my Phyllis event. the more energy I'm getting, the more ideas, the more positive I feel, and the more of you I can help. Let me just. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a funny joke. I think it's time for some jokes. And this is pretty silly. I'm trying to find the plug. I'm struggling to find the hole. So I'm trying to find the plug to charge my laptop, and I can't find the hole. It's too dark. There's a bit of a bad, silly joke there. You deserve a lot more. You deserve a lot more, Johnny. That's very kind of you. Johnny, some guy who's been out again on Bumble date, ran out things. Only through the pain is through the pain. That's it. Yeah, the only way to get over pain is through the pain. Let's find the plug hole, because otherwise this laptop's going to run out. Got it. Oh my God, I found the hole. It's not the first time I couldn't find the hole. That's a little bit of a joke. I told you I'm going to start making jokes on these live streams. Okay, right. Do any of you ever get this? Right, this is interesting. We're going to talk about inner voices. If any of you ever get an inner voice that you question, are you being authentic or not? I get that sometimes. It's really weird. Stuff in the past. Okay, I found the hole. You got the joke. That was good. And it was the right. Actually, I'm not sure if it's the right hole because the laptop isn't charging. Oh, the switch isn't on. You see? Now it's charging. Great. Okay. So we broke a record today. I've got 31 people watching this live stream. Now I've got 31 guys run away. He doesn't want me to break records. That's all right. I don't take it personal. I've got 29 other guys run out the live stream. He doesn't want me to break a record. Well, we initially had 31 people on. So that's now we've got 30 back. One guy wants to show me some love. So I broke a record today. It's getting better, and that's because I've been doing these more often. And let's answer some questions. Got all the inner voices all the time. Probably because you're a perfectionist. Yeah, it probably is that. But what I've been inspired to do actually of recent is you're gonna kind of start seeing more raw videos from you guys like before. They're gonna be more honest. I'm gonna be talking about I don't know, I'm doing this because it feels right, talking about my inner voices that are very negative and insecure. And I think that will inspire other people to talk about theirs and then we can get over them. But it doesn't really matter what your mind says. Your mind can say that you're a loser, but if you're not a loser and you're living good and you're being a good person, then it doesn't really matter what it says. Your mind can say that, you're going good, you can't do this, and then you go and do it and you prove it's not true. How comes I don't monetize my YouTube channel? Because I did it before, and I don't know why. I can't remember. I'm so overworked from the years before. Now I'm not overworked, so I'm talking about before, sorry. I have to look into that. I wasn't really thinking about monetizing the channel. Yeah, I think a lot of the inner voices that I get, they're from childhood and stuff. But I think also it's human. Even if you didn't go through a bad time, all of my friends get it. Most people have it. Everyone has it, if they're being honest. Women even have it as well. So, inner voices don't care about how much money you've got, how successful, how many women you've been with. It's just part of the conditioning. Okay. I just realised that you've been doing to chase off my friends. I've been looking for validation because my confidence is still getting with women who don't inspire my passion for me to make. It's good. It's good to be aware of insecurity because then you can change it. Self-talk is important. I think for me, what I'm learning is the most important thing is learning how to deal with negative self-talk and actually not to listen to it and to challenge it. And if you're taking a lot of practical action, you're challenging your negative self-talk anyway. Johnny, did you say it's easier to approach prettier women? Are they more open to conversations? This is a generalization that I'm making, but it's based on. It's quite deep. Oh my God, we got a world record. I've got 32 people watching. This has been the most. Now I've got to explain this because it might confuse people. In periods of my life, it has been easier for me to date, attract, sleep, and build a good relationship with a really beautiful girl than it has been for me to get a number or date a girl who, without offending anyone or criticizing, who is physically not just less attractive, but less confident, beautiful in personality and in looks. And I think the reason it has been because with those girls, I'm very conscious that I just don't treat them any different. I just be myself the same way I'm being now, talking to anyone. They're more attracted to a guy who is just being himself, being natural, relaxed, and not trying too hard. How can I heal from adolescence without friends? Well, you've answered your own question. Within your question, you've got to make friends. And for you, making friends is probably definitely going to heal your stuff in the past. So you've unconsciously answered it in the question. So you've got to face your fears of making friends. Just let you guys know as well, there's two things that you can become a part of that's really going to help you if you want. Hold on a second. Hey guys, how you doing? It's Johnny Berba. Just a sec. Okay, this is my 30-day online anxiety program. It's really good. It sold copies all around the world. It's helped a lot of guys. I put a lot in to make this. I spent an entire 2 days, like the whole 2 days, filming this program and going out doing the approaches and breaking it down. So it's basically for any guy who's really struggling with anxiety to approach women. If you check out this program, which is it's cheap, very affordable, less than €50, it's going to help you a lot. The link's there. And if you join my newsletter, this is free to join, you're going to get like one free video course, and you're going to be on my mailing list, and I can mentor you through email as well as on the live streams, or if you choose to work with me in person. And if any of you are thinking about working with me, or you'd like to work with me, or you want to ask me questions about my Skype 6 weeks program or my in-person 6 weeks program, then you can email me at johnnyberber88@gmail.com. So you've got my email, you've got the details. I promised that I wasn't gonna sell too hard in this live stream. I do it when I feel I want to. I'm going to give you massive value, which I feel I have done. I'll continue doing a couple more minutes because we've got a lot of people online, might be new to the channel. So got my email address there. You've got the 30-day online anxiety program, which you can check out and buy and get on PayPal. And where were we now? We're coming to the last part of the talk. We'll see how I feel. I feel like maybe a few more minutes. I might go on for an extra half an hour. We'll see how many questions I get, and we'll see what the energy's like. So, okay. How often do I meditate? I don't meditate at all. I don't do meditation in a classical sense, but I meditate in different ways. This is my form of meditation, teaching, inspiring people, connecting with people on live stream, hitting a punch bag, approaching women, coaching guys in person to meet women, public speaking, business, walking. So I suppose my whole life is meditation, but I don't just sit down with my eyes closed like that. Humming doesn't work for me. That's good. Sounds like you're on some kind of medication that helped you. That's good. Okay. Now, I've got so many things to teach and say. I feel like I've said all of them, and I feel like there's so much more to say. I'm just trying to calm my excitement and adrenaline and passion down so I can explain more. I get this question a lot: where do I want to be in 10 years' time with the business? And I'll answer it like this: I don't really care at this point. I mean that in a positive way. So I'm not going to say this amount of money or this big. I just follow my feeling, follow my intuition. I follow what feels right, and I, each one day at a time. So I'm not even thinking about in 10 years' time. I might not even be alive in 10 years' time. I hope so, but who knows? So for me, maybe some people are different. They have 10-year plans, 5-year. There's nothing wrong with that, but it just doesn't feel right for me congruent. So I just go with the flow of it. And as I go with the flow, sometimes I get weekly goals. I might get a monthly one. Same with these live streams. I had a good intuition to do these because I'd never done live stream. I started on Facebook, and I didn't realize that the live stream would get as big as it has got so quick. I've only been doing it for a couple of months, and I've got really comfortable speaking on live stream. I can talk for hours on end without a script. I'm even comfortable making mistakes, and I'm helping a lot of people. And so many of you are commenting. I didn't know I was going to connect with so many people on a live stream, and I've done it. So I didn't plan it, but I kind of followed the feeling, and it led to this. This is good. I like the approaching questions, the practical question. Is doing an approach right away a good way to get rid of approach anxiety in future? As in doing an approach before the anxiety has the chance to take over. Listen, I'm a firm believer it's always good to approach if you have approach anxiety, unless you've got a severe mental health problem and that you really need professional help like a doctor medication, then I would say the otherwise. But generally for most people, and I've been coaching now for a long time, 8 years, and I've taught guys to do so many approaches. I've done it myself. It can only be a good thing. The avoidance of anxiety is going to make it worse. It would improve if you, if you face it, it will get better. You'll become more desensitized. And a lot of anxiety comes from shock. The shock of talking to new people, the shock of going up to a girl because you're not used to it. So the more you practice it, the better it gets. That's really kind of you, Lawrence. I appreciate it. I didn't ask you to do that. That's nice. Lawrence says, quick plug for Johnny. I took a coaching session with him. It was extremely impactful. I approached 4 women. He got 2 numbers, and he went on a date with a sexy Russian girl the same night. Highly recommend it. Thanks, Lawrence. I really appreciate it. You know what, Lawrence? I'm going to make a little bit of a joke. I know you'll find it funny. For the skeptical people, they'll probably think that I've hired you and I've got a friend to make it. We won't even go there. So yeah, Lawrence took a coaching session with me, guys. He was on a live stream a couple of weeks ago that I did over the Christmas period, and we met up. I've spoken about you already, Lawrence. I had a really great time. I always really enjoy working with people from America, New York, especially you entrepreneurs, financial people, business people. I just feel an instant connection. Well, that's nice. I'm glad that you can relate to me. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? When you find someone, a mentor, any human being that you can relate to and connect with. I felt like that when I saw David Goggins' work and his story. I felt like I could connect with him. It's a good question. How do you know when a woman wants you to approach them? You don't always know. Sometimes you do know, sometimes you don't. I would say maybe that's the wrong question to ask, because the whole point of going out approaching is to be spontaneous and for the person to not know that you're going to come up to them. But to another part of the question, which is relevant, is having the intelligence to actually be able to see and sense when a woman does want you to approach, or anyone for that matter. So you practice too. I tell my clients, practice going out and consciously approaching, and practice resting up a bit more and just being more relaxed and open-minded. And when you see a situation and you feel it's right, then go and do it. Lawrence says, having a coach by yourself to push you through the feelings of fear can kickstart your approaching. Yeah, by your side, rather. You need a wingman. That's another thing I want to mention, guys. Maybe a lot of people forget. I did a lot of approaching by myself, but I wouldn't be honest and accurate if I didn't mention at the start. I did have a lot of support. My first mentor, Floyd, wasn't a paid mentor, but he was a mentor nonetheless. I spent the first year with him, or the first 3 months were crucial. When I couldn't approach. I was watching him do it. It blew my mind. It gave me so much inspiration. I would say it gave me a lot of excitement. And then I eventually started to do it. And eventually I didn't need a wingman, but I always recommend getting a coach. And people sometimes say, do you get coaching, Johnny? Of course I get coaching. I worked with Jeff for 3 years, and the coaching was expensive, but it was worth it for me because I believe in investing and in mentors. So, like my coaching is quite expensive, his coaching sessions were not cheap, but I valued it and it was worth it. And I worked with Jeff for about 3 years, and it really helped me. I grew a lot as a man. I learned things from him that are priceless. So if you can get a coach, I mean, you've all done it technically now, having me mentor you online, but I really do feel the power. And I know a lot of people, they turn their nose up, but having a paid mentor is very powerful. When you pay for something and you invest, you value it more, it pushes you more. And ultimately, in the long run, paying someone to help you will make you more money in the long run, unless obviously they're really, really bad at what they're doing. So get a good mentor. Make sure you find someone who's credible and someone that you can connect with, and get the help. But I also say as well, you don't want to rely on a mentor forever. There needs to be a time period where he helps you at a certain period to get you where you need to get, and then you can say thank you very much, and then you don't need him, you can go your own way. Any more questions? I think this is the best live stream I've had so far. Most viewing, we had 31, 32 earlier. Still got 27, and it's been consistent questions, engagement. This is great. No, I don't think it's strange. It's not strange that having a coach provides you the confidence to approach, but when you're by yourself, you can't do it. I mean, that's the whole point of having a coach. It's like, it's a bit like, when you're a young kid, you're young and you go to your parents and say, can you reach that from the cupboard and get me the drink or the juice? You're not tall enough, you're not strong enough to reach up. Your parent has to do it. But when you come to a certain age, you can do it yourself. So I see coaching in the same way. And I think that's the part of the male ego that you've got to get over if you want to really grow in life. And even with women business or as a person, is not being afraid to ask for help. There's no shame in asking, and there's no shame in paying someone to help you. No shame at all. The most successful people all do this. It's true. It's too easy to make excuses not to approach. So when you've got a coach with you and you paid them, I'm the type of coach where I'm never going to let you get out of it. And whether I'm going to be really pushy and straight with you or really compassionate, I will make sure that you do it. I appreciate your compliment. Like I said before, I'm not going to talk about openly on other dating coaches, whether they're good or they're not. I just say, listen, anyone who's helping people, well done to them. I may not agree with other teachers are teaching, but they might not agree with what I'm doing, so I'm not going to focus on that. I didn't see the Gillette advert, and I'm not going to watch it. I'm not focusing on this type of negativity. So next part, before we end this in the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about, I've been helping you stay with motivation and inspiration to overcome anxiety and gain confidence. The next one is, I think I touched on it today, but I want to stay on it, and it's actually coincidence, is focus. It's about being focused on what you want to achieve, what you want to do, and who you want to be, and having the discipline to not let your mind or the media or anyone else pull you out of focus. Because the more you're pulled out of your focus, you're pulled out of your purpose in life, potential, and that's when the problems start happening. Johnny, do you think that approaching less girls, women daily, say 2 to 3, but you can truly feel attracted to them, then say 10 per session or so? That's a good point, and I'd say that's another universal truth, Joe. Sometimes when I'm with a client, I won't make them do 10 approaches. I will do what you said. I'll make them do 2 or 3 approaches, but within those 2 or 3, there will be girls that they're really attracted to. They put a lot more effort into the approach, and it goes a lot more well. With another client, he might have a lot of high anxiety, so it wouldn't be right for me to only make him approach 3 women. I've got to get him to approach maybe 20 women. So it depends on where you're at, and yeah, it basically depends on where you're at. Now, for where you're at, I sense you're growing a lot. Maybe it wouldn't benefit you to do 10 or 20. It might hinder you, make you feel worse. It might be better that you do 3. So if you just want to know where I'm at now, I do better when I do less approaches. If I go out and do a lot of approaches, I don't know, it doesn't work for me as much unless I'm teaching a YouTube video. That's different, and I can do loads because I'm purposely teaching. I'm in a different mindset. But if it's for me to go out and actually find a girlfriend and get a date, I mean, I've been on 5 dates in the last week and a half, but all of the 5 girls, it happened really randomly. I didn't do loads of approaches, but when I first started, I used to do lots, and I needed to, and I got good results doing that. And I might go back to that. So to answer your question, it's good to do both at different times, depending on who you are, what you want to achieve, what your sticking points are. So my bigger message to people would be, generally, for the guys with high anxiety, they need to be approaching more women. You need volume. But once you get volume, then you need quality. And with quality, we need fewer numbers. So have a good one, Johnny. Awesome. Hello from Turkey. So it's a great question. You kind of inspired me to talk about quality, focus, quantity. I get these questions a lot. Will you do a video approaching women from other cities? I've kind of done that already. I've approached Latin. I've approached Indian, Chinese. Okay, maybe I could approach more black girls, which is fine. That naturally makes me want to respond. I'm not being defensive. First girl actually that I dated and slept with, didn't be on the street. She kind of spoke to me at an event. She was, half black, very beautiful, French, African. I dated her. You're welcome, Joe. Do I approach MILFs? Yeah. I mean, technically a MILF myself, right? I'm 35. Again, that was a joke. Wasn't great. So it's been really good today. Really good questions. Great live stream. I'm going to come to the end in a few more minutes. Any other questions you've got? And I just want to find out how many of you are ready to take the next step. And what I mean by the next step is the next step. So how many of you are ready to get my help, do a coaching program, which would be, how can I describe it? How would it be to work with me and do my coaching? It would be fun. It will be scary. It'll be uncomfortable, and then it'll be comfortable. It'll be confidence building. It'll be great. So how many of you are ready to do that? If you're ready to take the next step, we can talk on Skype for 15 minutes. I can give you a free consultation. Please make sure that you're serious, you're considering. And I can tell you about the program, the cost, the structure, what will happen on it, and I can find out what your sticking points are and whether I can help you or not to get the results that you want. And also, the next step is you don't have to do it with me. You can go out alone or with a friend. I would recommend going out alone, challenging yourself, and try it. Just be open to it. Remember I said earlier, my mindset years ago when I was struggling, I had my parents, I had no money, I had no girlfriend, struggling with anxiety, just threw myself into the fear. Didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to work out. And it all worked out. John Sell says, how have you been, bro? I've been great. I'm good. Very good. Very relaxed. Been good. How have you been? Oh, by the way, just did everyone see the notification on YouTube? Because I actually I booked ahead to let you know I was doing the live stream. I just wanted to get a little bit more organized with these, so you guys know what time I'm coming on in advance. I did it earlier on. Did any of you see that? Let me know. Yep, 32 was the highest. It's getting higher and higher. I'm sure it's going to go up more and more. That's great. Oh, great, Jeremy saw it. Okay, so I will also actually I'm going to be on tomorrow because I've got a day off tomorrow. I've got like a business meeting with a guy tomorrow over Skype. Friday I won't be on. It's likely Saturday I'm with a client coaching. I'm with a client Sunday coaching, so I won't be on the weekend. I won't be on Friday. I'm going to be on tomorrow, and I'll be on tomorrow at. I've got the meeting tomorrow at 7 with a guy. We'll probably talk till 8. So I think I'm going to be on tomorrow at 8:30. So I'll let you guys know. Definitely check out tomorrow at 8:30, and then I will decide on a topic to talk about, and then I'll answer your questions as usual. So we're going to end it in about a minute or so. So I really appreciate all of you coming on. I've really enjoyed getting to know you, and I've worked with some of you in person. You've taken my coaching. We learned a lot today, and I'm enjoying the live streams. So yeah, like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on the video below. Yeah, don't worry, George. I'm going to be posting all the lives now. So I've put 2 lives up already from the other days. I'm going to put this one up today. And I'm looking forward to my Fearless event in London. You guys are welcome to come to that. It's free. It's on the 10th of February. You can email me to book a place. And what else is there? I'm trying to think. You're welcome, Lawrence, man. I'll see you at the event, Lawrence. And I'm really pleased about your progress as well. We can catch up on that. And yeah, but hopefully you've connected with Maurice as well. He's a really great guy. I told him about you. He wants to meet you. So what else is there? Please excuse me, guys. I've been talking for almost 2 hours unscripted. I'll see you on the 10th, friend. What else have we got? What else is there? Any news? Yeah, get on my newsletter, guys. I'm sending out a lot of stuff on the newsletter. That's really, really helpful. And that's on my website, www.johnnyberba.com. You'll get a free video course when you sign up to that. So you know, you guys have got a lot of help. You've got a lot of free support. You've got the paid mentorship if you want to take things further and invest in me as your coach, really change your life. And you've also got the videos on YouTube, the live streams, and newsletters. So the help's out there for anyone who needs help. So I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. A bit later. I'll be on about 8:30. I've got a meeting tomorrow, and I'm going to hit the gym tomorrow as well. And I'm going to think of a topic tonight that's really going to be important tomorrow. I may cover something about looks and identity. So yeah, all right. See you soon, guys. Enjoy the process, and thank you for coming on.